time to get fired up. Are you okay?
It's too late for all that, man.
No, it's not. We're just getting started. Brand new edition of the Association Post-Up. Mike Yam in our Los Angeles studio. I got a two-time All-Star in Isaiah Thomas, our NBA insider Chris Haynes, and a great night for everyone. An 8-game slate in the Association. Full highlights and analysis of all of them. In fact, if you would have told me we were going to start the show with Thunder and Magic heading into the day, I would have been like, I don't know. This one was really entertaining here. Looked like OKC was going to handle business, but Caro and company, there was a significant run. Let's show you how it all went down. First quarter, SGA, who's maybe in the pole position, back in pole position for another MVP awards.
Sure.
He's right there, 11 points in that first quarter for him. Second frame now. Chet, go get it.
What's that right there, I think?
Big to big alley-oop. Welcome to 2026.
Thunder on a little 10-2 run off of that flush. Holmgren, by the way, goes for 20 points and 12 rebounds. And this one and this defense you've never seen before. Alex Caruso, take a closer look. Yes, that is a shoe. His shoe.
That's not a block?
No. All ball, though, as you've pointed out multiple times.
Yeah, they called a tech on that, everybody.
They did. If it's not your shoe, is that still a tech? I'm not exactly sure how that works. It says Bane, the 3-ball. That kept a 23-6 run for the Magic. Then Caro, 32 and 10. Magic on top.
It was a lot of back and forth. They needed this one, though. They couldn't slow him down.
Nope. Dude had 19 points in the third quarter. He's absolutely terrific. Jim Mitchell.
Second rounder, lefty.
Just in case you didn't know. Too much SGA down the stretch. It's a 40-burger for him. And how about this Thunder team? 9 consecutive games that they have won. 6 straight over the Magic. They're now 5-1 in games where SGA goes for at least 40. OKC now the first team to clinch a playoff spot this season, and they earned their 13th postseason appearance since 2010. Got more on this squad coming up in just a moment. Pistons, though, you can see top left of your screen. That's Cade Cunningham, and that is not a good sign. Started this game, guys, back spasms after the first quarter. His night is done. Chris told me, I asked him right before the game. He said no update as of yet. Still waiting on that, but it's all good. You got Jalen Duren.
And you got him, another all-star.
This Pistons team, pretty big fella. Double-double through 3 quarters.
Detroit played this game the right way.
Yeah, they did.
Feed your big.
Carrington. 21 of his 30 came in the fourth quarter. Oh, he checked for that dude all by himself.
There you go. Find them.
Yep. Career high 36.
Ooh, 36. Without Cade.
Yep.
I'm seeing a trend here. Washington having a problem with big men.
With big men. They're having their career night.
Pistons, they outscored the Wizards bench 62-35. During that double-double is his 35th of the season, and the Wizards' tailspin is in full effect. They have now lost 13 consecutive games. You know, I know we don't necessarily have an update on Cade Cunningham, but this is still a team that figured out a way to get it done. I know there's obviously long-term concerns if there is a major issue. Hopefully that is not the case here. Pistons, in your mind, is still, I know they're number 1 right now in that Eastern Conference. You're still buying them as the team to beat in the East?
I am. Because yeah, that's a tough play right there. But when Cade Cunningham's healthy, they're arguably one of the best teams in the league. They show that each and every night. They lay their hat on the defensive end, and he makes them a championship contender. But without him, we just don't know because we haven't seen a lot of Detroit Pistons without Cade. But this is a good opportunity for others to try to step up, get some rhythm, and get some opportunity before the playoffs start.
You saw that play right there. He was going for the ball, dove for it. Like, he is playing extremely hard against a team that is playing, I should say. So with all that being said, I don't expect people that I've talked to this point. They said it was a good sign the way that he was able to just walk off. Yeah. The way you saw him walk off, you wouldn't think there were anything wrong with him. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's better to walk off on your own than to be carried off.
Totally. And by the way, I don't want to speculate because we don't know the severity as of this moment of what it's going to look like. Regardless, we're not in the postseason just yet. I got to imagine Detroit handles him with kid gloves because they have bigger hopes and dreams and aspirations come June. But Duren does carry this team. 36 points, 12 rebounds for him. It feels like, look, he's a guy that can probably in a short burst still carry this team because of how dominant he is in the paint, right?
Yeah, I think he can to an extent. Like, that's not his game to have to carry those guys. But he's going to have games like this every now and then to where he has a 30-point game, 10-plus rebounds, and he can carry the load. Because at the end of the day, he's an all-star. He's deserved that opportunity. But I think if you ask him, he doesn't want it all to be on him as well. So, and the Detroit Pistons don't want that as well. So hopefully Cade Cunningham comes back sooner rather than later, and they can end the season.
Yeah, I know. Were you going to add something? Sorry.
No, I'm saying Washington doesn't have size to be able to handle a guy like him or a guy like Bam. So that's what you get. So this was if Cade is going to go out, this is the game to do that.
By the way, any updates? I know you will have us covered on social media, of course, on NBA.com. We'll get the latest on this squad. Meanwhile, Pacers against the Knicks. Jose Alvarado making his first start. Jalen Brunson dealing with an ankle injury. That's an issue, but for Alvarado, got an opportunity to get mic'd up.
Garden? Yeah. First one ever. Not ever, but Garden. In the Garden. My boy. First one ever, baby.
Oh, first ever. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go to the crib.
Yeah. Alvarado, 16 points, 10 assists in his first start as a Knick. Sign me up for that.
Talking about those short guys got to stick together.
Josh Hart's bucket. Season high 5 threes for him.
Wow.
He wasn't messing around in this game. Cat, we've seen this before. Step back triple for him. 22 and 11. Boy, Knicks, man, they got some contributions across the board. OG.
They played a really good game.
He had 26. Hart, by the way, most points in a Knick uniform, 33. Dude was 12 of 13, missed one shot.
Oh, yeah, he's going to.
6 and 2, by the way, the Knickerbockers when OG goes for at least 25. Pacers setting a new franchise record with 14 consecutive losses, man. All right, now let's check in on the Miami Heat and the Hornets. LaMelo Ball is usually good for 1 or 2 moments in the game where you just go, that just looks a whole lot different than everyone else in the league. First quarter, does that kind of count as one of those?
Can you jump next time, Melo?
Little mini hop.
He could jump.
Yeah, nothing mini on those hops, I'll tell you that. Slam dunk champion. God, Johnson can fly, huh? Is Con Knipple the rookie of the year?
He's definitely my rookie of the year.
Definitely have to be a favorite in most people's eyes.
22 points for him. Kobe White, splash. Goes for 24, 11 of them coming in the third quarter, and in the fourth. All right, that definitely is. If you didn't buy the first one that we showed you, this is definitely the other one.
These are what he does on a nightly basis.
It's fun to watch. 30 points, 13 assists. What he does as a playmaker, so important for that Hornets squad as the Heat suffer their first loss to Charlotte so far this season. Hornets, they outscored the Heat 40-18 in that final frame. You start thinking about both of these squads in the scope of the Eastern Conference. Miami, certainly a team that's dangerous. Hornets, dangerous. The Atlanta Hawks, all of a sudden out of nowhere, 10 consecutive games, they're rolling. I'll look at these chunk of teams in the Eastern Conference, and Chris, you see 5 through 10 right there. Who's not going to be in the play-in? Like, who's going to grab 5 and 6 here?
Well, I don't know who's not going to be in the play-in, but what I can tell you is that I like where the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks, I like where they're headed. I think those are two teams. First of all, you talk about the Miami Heat, they're a tough out anytime they're in the playoffs. And then the Atlanta Hawks, I just like the moves that they've been making. They're getting young. They got some life. They got some, they just got a vibrance to them that they didn't have early on in the season. And I think it's carrying them a long way.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to piggyback on what Chris is saying. Like, Miami is definitely a team towards the end of the year that always plays well. Atlanta's on a 10-game winning streak, which surprised a lot of people. And then the one team that worries me right now is Orlando, as they've been playing good before this 2-game losing streak. But you can't live on winning 1, losing 2, taking a step forward, taking 2 steps back, and they've been like that most of the season. So Miami and Atlanta, I got Atlanta maybe sneaking in out of the play-in and getting to that 6th spot.
Yeah, I'm concerned with Orlando.
Yeah.
What's concerning you? What is it? Just the losses?
They've been this way all throughout the season. You just never know what they're going to get. As soon as you think they're going to turn the corner,
It's happened a few times.
yeah, they fold back right. And I mean, look, it was a point in the game where you thought they were going to make a legitimate push.
Why are you going to do that like that?
I'm just saying, but that's how they get you in.
Yeah.
They will you in, and then they bit right back to reality.
What was it? Like a 23-6 run or something like that in that second quarter. You're like, oh, okay, back in this thing. But Caro can certainly be dangerous. And right now, there's fans of Charlotte that are watching this show going, are you seriously rolling with Miami? You guys should pay attention during this highlight. We're handling business right now.
They have a case.
Yeah,
they have a case.
They're dangerous, man. It's still a young
Charlotte
squad. Back here on the post-up, 76ers and Nuggets. St. Patrick's Day on the association ITU had said, hey, like, team that needs a little bit of luck, that would be Philadelphia. And he said because of health reasons. They're not healthy, and they didn't have much luck in this game.
It's going to be tough to get some luck without the guys in there right now.
Yep. Aaron Gordon gets up 7 off the bucket. Joker, 8 assists in the first quarter.
Makes the game look so easy.
It really does. Nuggets up by 17.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Man, evil intentions right there.
The Rudy Rimrocker?
Yes, that is 100% a rim rocker nominee. Rudy Gay is like, yep, I'm going to be Ed with that one.
And one.
Yep.
And Cam Johnson.
Hey, if they could get him going, that'll take the team to another level.
Sure.
Joker had 10 assists in the first half.
Yeah, they're beating tonight.
No, man. Well, it's all good. 14 assists is what he's finished this game. Denver, by the way, sweeping filling the season series back-to-back years. That has now happened. Denver went by 32 at the half, 5th largest halftime lead in franchise history. 76ers, once again, don't have Embiid, and they lose 16-20 on the year without the big fella. One dominant big to another. Wemby, Spurs, Kings. San Antonio, we pick it up when they're up 17 points.
You got to give us something, baby.
Reunion for De'Aaron.
Man.
Good call. 15 points for Fox. Surveying. Wemby finishing.
How easy is that?
I mean, who could stop that?
Nobody.
26 off of that flush. We talked about Reno on one of the shows.
Yes, we did. We did it was last week. He's definitely a rookie to watch.
Yeah, he definitely is. Career high 32. Westbrook, an important assist.
Right spot for the Kings.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second here. Wemby, 18 points, 3 ball. Yeah. Spurs, franchise record, 25 threes in this game. They also had a season-high 41 assists. Kings never led. They get swept in the season series by San Antonio. Now, I made reference to Russell Westbrook and the Dimes. How about this now? Officially passing. I mean, this is just, you throw Steve Nash's name in anything, that's usually a good thing. Mark Jackson, just passing those guys now. 5th all-time in assists in NBA history.
Nobody catching John Stockton.
No, not at all.
No, but as you were telling us earlier, just awful on the defensive side. So
I didn't say
that's your guy, John.
I didn't say anything about awful.
You like how I just spent that?
He's just 6'1". That's all. He's 6'1". That's all.
If you watch the association, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. I don't mean to do him dirty like
That's
that.
That's fine. I do the same.
You would. That's why I feel good about it.
That's okay.
All right. We just showed you 2 dominant bigs right now in Joker and Wemby. That's like this generation's big. So we got to thinking like, hey, who are the most dominant players that you've seen, played against? Chris, it's time for a little shoot your shot here. We'll put 24 seconds up on the clock. You tell me, most dominant player. What do you got?
I'm going off of just since I've been covering the league in 2010, and that is LeBron James. I haven't seen anybody dominate a game on both ends of the court like that. I'll take that ball. Give me that ball. I haven't seen anybody dominate the game like that on both ends of the court. What he did in Cleveland, what he did in Miami, left Miami after 2 championships, came back to Cleveland, got Cleveland their first championship. I was the beat writer covering the Cavs. I've never seen somebody do what he did. Came back from a 3-1 deficit. Golden State Warriors, NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was good, and that was close.
Ooh, I almost hit the camera. They didn't see that.
You buy it, and that one's actually pretty expensive. So.
Didn't see that. My bad, Joe.
All right, IT, who we got?
Oh, okay. Let me get this. I'm going to go with Kobe Bean Bryant. as the most dominant that I've seen, that I played against. I came in when he was still in his, he was still killing guys, and just one of the best ever. One of the best ever. My favorite player of all time. I got to see it up live and personal.
Go against him.
He's one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, no, it's impressive. I almost feel bad because, we prep these segments and you start thinking, the fact that no one went Jordan, I'm thinking to myself, like, do you just go there? Like, can we just say, hey, there's Jordan, the best of all time, and we're talking about, like...
That's what I would say, yeah.
Dominant, right? So I'm going to go with the big fella, Shaq. The fact that you were kind of on the fence a little bit. First of all, they asked, which Shaq do you want to see? Lakers? No, I was like, I want the pinstripe. So thank you, by the way, for delivering on that. 4-time NBA champion, 3-time finals MVP. And as a kid, and you're seeing some of these highlights, this is why I think about him as a dominant player. Remember Hack-a-Shaq? Yeah. You couldn't stop him. The only thing you could do was foul him and put him on the free throw line. Most dominant player of a generation, maybe all time. I think Wilt's certainly in that conversation. Shaq has got to be there. I think that is the answer to this.
Well, it's the answer for you. I told you I answered based off of since I was covering the league.
Yes.
You're answering based off of
just watch
lifetime.
Just watch it. Yeah, just watch it.
Jordan would be my pick.
We got all good choices.
Yeah, but he always trying to cause tension and stuff.
No, I try to cause the tension. Are you kidding me?
Can we get the Suns, T-Wolves, please?
We're right there. We are right there with it. By the way, Anthony Edwards, speaking of dominant players in the game right now, the injury is going to be out 1 to 2 weeks. Guns Highlands. Let's go.
That's what Mike. You're going to be out 1 to 2 weeks.
I got your back.
I appreciate it. Julius Randle will step back for him. 13 in the first half. T-Wolves up by 1 at the break. Both of these teams sort of need it, kind of fighting right now for playoff positioning. Devin Booker goes for 34.
Yeah. Bucket getter every night. Night in and night out, he does what he does.
Yeah.
This guy might put on the shoulder Anthony Edwards is out, though.
You're right about that.
It's his time. Somebody has to step up. Yeah.
For sure.
22. We were talking about that on the association. Like, who's going to step up? Randall, his name popped up. Highland's one of those guys. That was dirty.
Ooh.
Oof.
Ooh.
Come on, Randall.
Got the dub. Got the win.
On his head.
That's a good win.